There's a certain kind of silence you only hear outdoors. Not the quiet of a closed room, not the muted calm of midnight in a city. I mean the kind of silence that stretches, that breathes, that listens back. If you've ever camped before, really camped, you'll know what I mean. The moment the fire dies down, when the laughter fades, when the last phone battery drains, and it's just you. In the dark, have you ever felt like the forest was waiting for something? Not watching, waiting. Tonight, we're not talking about ghosts in houses. We're talking about places without walls, places without boundaries, places where things don't need doors to come in. 6 stories. 6 people who went out into the wild and came back with something they can't explain. Or worse, didn't come back alone. So before we begin, think carefully. Have you ever gone camping somewhere remote, far enough that help wasn't immediate, far enough that if something called your name, it wouldn't be human? Because after tonight, you might remember something you ignored, or something that followed you home. This is episode 14, the campsite that kept us. Let's begin. My name is Aaron Whitaker. This happened in Colorado, US. And before I start, I want you to picture something. You're standing at the edge of a still lake. No wind, no ripples, just a perfect reflection. Sky above you, sky below you, identical. Now tell me, if the reflection didn't match, how long would it take you to notice? And once you did, would you keep looking? It was just me and my younger brother, Tyler. We'd planned a 2-night trip up in the mountains, remote alpine lake. No marked trails, no other campers, just coordinates and a long hike in. You ever wanted to go somewhere untouched? Somewhere that feels like no one's ever stood there before? That's what we were chasing. We reached the lake just before sunset, and it was perfect, completely still, surrounded by tall pines and rock faces. No insects, no birds, no sound, just water. That's weird, Tyler said. What? I asked. Too quiet. I shrugged it off. High altitude, less wildlife. That made sense. At least I thought it did. We set up camp near the shore, close enough to hear the water, not that it made any sound. That first night, nothing happened. We slept fine, no disturbances, no dreams, just silence. Morning came, bright, clear, normal. We spent the day hiking around the lake, fishing, talking. Everything felt fine, too fine. You ever get that feeling? When nothing's wrong, but it still feels off, like something's waiting? It happened that evening. Just after sunset, the sky above us was darkening, stars starting to appear, that deep blue fading into black. Tyler was the first to notice. Aaron, I looked up. Look at the water, I turned, and froze. The lake was reflecting daylight, not dusk, not night, full daylight, bright sky, white clouds drifting slowly. I looked up again. Night, stars visible, moon rising, then back down. Day, clear, wrong. Tell me something. If the world above you said night, and the world below you said day, which one would you believe? We stepped closer to the edge, careful, watching. The reflection didn't shift, didn't distort, it stayed consistent, independent. Tyler crouched down. Maybe it's just the angle, he said. It's not, I replied. I knew it wasn't. Then something moved, in the reflection, not in the sky above, only in the water, a shadow, crossing the clouds, slow, deliberate. We both saw it. Neither of us spoke, because we both knew there was nothing above us to cast that shadow. The reflection changed, gradually, like time passing. The sun in the water moved lower. Clouds shifted, the light dimmed. It was showing us something else, another time. Is that earlier? Tyler whispered. No, I said slowly. It's not earlier, because the shadows were wrong. The light angles didn't match. The clouds weren't the same. It wasn't our sky, just a sky. Then we saw it. At the edge of the reflected lake, a figure, standing where we were, but not us. Same position, same shoreline, but different. It was tall, still, watching the water, watching us. Tell me something. If you saw something in a reflection, standing where you are, would you look behind you? I didn't. I couldn't. I just stared at the water, at the thing standing in the wrong sky. Tyler whispered, "Is that us?" It wasn't. The figure moved, slowly, stepping closer to the water. In the reflection, then it looked up, directly at us. My chest tightened, because I knew it wasn't looking at its own sky, it was looking through, at ours. Then it raised its hand and touched the surface of the water. The lake rippled, for the first time. In our world, the water moved, expanding circles, breaking the reflection, and something pushed back from below. The surface bulged, like pressure from underneath, like something trying to come through. "Step back," I said, but Tyler didn't move. He was staring, locked in. The shape beneath the water pressed upward, forming a hand. Wrong. Too long, too thin. It pushed harder. The surface stretched, didn't break, just strained. Then it stopped. The reflection snapped back. Perfect, still. Night above, night below, everything normal. Except Tyler was gone. I turned, spun around. Tyler? Nothing. No footsteps, no sound. Just the lake. Tell me something. If someone vanished beside you, without a trace, would you search the forest or the water? I searched everywhere. Forest, shoreline. Called his name until my voice broke. Nothing. Then I looked back at the lake, and there he was in the reflection, standing beside the figure. Not struggling, not afraid, just still. He turned, looked at me, and smiled. Not right, too wide, too calm. Then he raised his hand, slowly, mirroring the motion from before, and touched the surface. From the other side, the water rippled again. I stepped back, heart racing, because I understood now. The reflection wasn't showing another place, it was showing another side. And something had crossed over. I left that night, didn't pack properly, didn't sleep, just walked. When I got back, I reported him missing. Search teams went out, drones, dogs, everything. They found nothing, except the lake, still, silent, perfect. They said there were no signs of disturbance, no footprints, no struggle, nothing. But I know what I saw. Tell me something. If you saw someone you loved on the other side of something, calling you without words, would you go to them? Because sometimes late at night, when I look at reflective surfaces, windows, mirrors, even water in a glass, I see it, a different sky. And just for a second, I see him, standing there, waiting, not trying to come back, trying to get me to come through. My name is Hannah Doyle. This happened in the Scottish Highlands, and I want you to do something before I begin, just for a moment. Be completely still. Listen. Not to me, to your own breathing. In, out, steady, familiar, yours. Now imagine hearing that same rhythm from somewhere that isn't your body, close enough to feel, but not close enough to see. How long would it take before you realized you weren't alone? There were 4 of us. Me, my partner Callum, and our friends Isla and Peter. We'd planned a 3-night wild camp deep into the highlands. Remote, no signal, no trails, just open land and instinct. We reached the site just before sunset, a wide stretch of uneven ground surrounded by low hills. No trees, no cover, nothing to block the wind or the sky. It felt exposed, but safe. You ever had that contradiction, where a place feels too open to hide anything, so you assume there's nothing there? We set up camp in a tight circle, tents close together, fire in the center, not for warmth, for comfort. That first night was quiet, no animals, no movement, just wind, constant, low, endless. We slept early, tired from the hike. I woke up sometime in the night, no idea what time, no sound woke me. Just that feeling, something isn't right. At first, everything seemed normal. Wind still blowing, tent fabric shifting, my own breathing steady. Then I noticed it. Another breath, not Callum's, not outside, inside the tent. Slow, in, out, matching mine, perfectly. I held my breath, the other breathing didn't stop. Tell me something. If something breathed beside you, in the dark, would you look? I didn't, I couldn't, I just lay there, frozen, listening. After a few seconds, it stopped. I exhaled, slow, careful. And then it started again, but this time outside the tent, multiple, not one, not two, more, surrounding us. I sat up, heart pounding. "Callum," I whispered. He didn't respond, still asleep. I unzipped the tent slowly, carefully, trying not to make noise. Outside, the fire was dead, just ash, faint glow, and the sound, breathing, all around the campsite, soft. Synchronized, I stepped out, barefoot, cold ground beneath me. "Hello," I called. The breathing stopped instantly. Silence. Then, from inside Isla's tent, a sharp inhale, too sharp, too sudden, followed by another and another, more than one. "Ela," I called. No response. I moved closer, heart racing. The tent fabric shifted, like something inside moved. Then a voice, "Don't open it." Ela's voice, but strained. "Wrong. Why?" I asked. Silence. Then very softly, "Because there are more of them than us now." My chest tightened. "Tell me something. If someone told you not to open a tent because of what was inside, would you listen?" I didn't. I grabbed the zipper, pulled it open. Inside, Ela was there, curled up, shaking, but she wasn't alone. There were shapes pressed into the corners, low, still, breathing, too many. I couldn't see faces, just outlines, bodies that didn't reflect light properly. They weren't moving toward her, they were just there, breathing, matching her, matching me, matching everything. I stumbled back, fell onto the ground. "Wake up," I shouted. "Everyone wake up!" Callum burst out of our tent. Peter followed. "What's going on?" Callum asked. "Count," I said. "Just count." We stood there in the dark, trying to stay calm. "1," Callum said. "2," Peter added. "3," Isla whispered from behind me. "4," I said. We all looked at each other. 4 people. Then a 5th breath, right between us. We froze, because it wasn't coming from any direction. It was coming from inside the circle, between us. Something we couldn't see. Breathing. "Tell me something. If something stood among you, perfectly still, perfectly silent, except for its breath, would you move?" No one did. The breathing continued, slow, calm, patient. Then it shifted. We heard it. A step, soft, then another, moving between us. We felt it, the air changing, the space adjusting. Then Callum flinched. "What?" I asked. He didn't answer immediately. Then, very quietly, it just breathed on my neck. That was it. We broke, grabbed what we could, ran, no direction, no plan, just movement. Behind us, the breathing followed, not chasing, not rushing, just keeping pace, always just behind, always just out of reach. We ran until sunrise, collapsed on a ridge, exhausted, terrified. When the light came, everything stopped. No breathing, no footsteps, nothing. We counted again, 1, 2, 3, 4, all of us. But none of us spoke, because we all felt it. Something was missing, not from the group, from the space between us. Like something that had been there wasn't anymore. Or worse, it still was, and we just couldn't hear it now. Tell me something. When you listen to your own breathing at night, are you sure it's only yours? I don't camp anymore, not in open places, not where there's nowhere to hide, because that's the problem. We think fear comes from things we can't see, but that night taught me something else. Sometimes the worst thing is something that stands right beside you, perfectly still, perfectly quiet, and only proves it's there when it breathes. Before you go, think about where you are right now. Your room, your walls, your space. It feels contained, safe, defined. But out there are no walls, no edges, no limits. Just open space and things that don't need boundaries. Tonight, you heard 6 stories, 6 different places, different people, different outcomes. But the pattern is the same. Something waits, not in the dark, not in the trees, not in the water, in the space around you. Watching, learning, mimicking. Tell me, have you ever gone somewhere and come back feeling like something stayed behind? Or worse, like something came back with you? Because here's the truth no one tells you about the wild. It doesn't belong to us. We pass through it. Briefly. Carelessly. And sometimes, something notices. Something curious. Something patient. Something that doesn't understand us but wants to. So it listens. To your voice, your footsteps, your breathing, and it learns. And once it learns enough, it doesn't need you anymore. It just needs to become you. So tonight, when you turn off your lights, when the room goes quiet, when you hear your own breathing in the dark, pause. Listen carefully. Because if there's even the slightest delay, the smallest echo, the faintest second rhythm, don't ignore it. And whatever you do, don't answer if something calls your name. Because some campsites don't let you leave. They just let something else take your place. Until the next whisper.
You've been listening to Mr. Haunting Whispers, where every truth leaves a scar. If the story unsettled you, good. That means you were listening. Subscribe and stay close to the dark, because the next whisper might be for you.